Claressa Shields returns to the ring to take on Ema Kozin. Let's talk about it. Well, Claressa Shields makes her return to the ring and she beats Ema Kozin by unanimous decision over in Cardiff, Wales. She pretty much put on a 10 to nothing performance. Let's start with the pros and the cons. First, let's start with Claressa first. I like the fact that she went southpaw. You don't usually see her do that very often. I like the fact that she was using her jab, and I thought that she did a decent amount of body work. I like the fact that she was throwing hard punches, even though Claressa does not have any or much power. I like the fact that she was throwing hard punches and was trying to get Kozin out of there. I like her foot. I liked her foot movement and her upper body movement on defense. I like the fact that she walked Emma down, which tells me that she was trying for the knockout. She was cutting off the ring. She was walking her down. She was switching stances. I mean, Claressa was doing everything she could to try to get the knockout and get that young lady out of there. The only cons I would have for Claressa is that she didn't get the knockout. I didn't think that she would get a knockout, but this is a fight I would have loved to see a knockout in because that way it could hype up the Savannah Marshall fight even more. As for Ema Kozin, the only positive pros I would have is that she was willing to get in there with Claressa, who is one of the best female fighters in the world. She really did not do much, to be very honest with you. I guess I'll just go right to the cons. She didn't really do much. She didn't really give a lot of resistance. I don't really know what her game plan was at all. I don't know what her team was working on in training camp, but she didn't really put up much of a fight at all, especially for a woman who's 21, if I remember, 21-0 and 11 or 12 knockouts or something like that coming into this fight. Anyway, it was a 10. The fight went all 10 rounds. I thought there was a decent amount of action. I wasn't like some of the people who I was seeing on Twitter, who felt like they were going to sleep or they were bored. I thought that it was a decent amount of action, but there's really not a lot you can do when the person across from you is really not putting up that much of a fight. You can really only do so much. Anyway, Claressa wins by unanimous decision. Let's get to what we all want to talk about, and that's Savannah Marshall. The next fight that these ladies have to fight, well, Savannah fights next month, it has to be the two of them. Now, I do appreciate the fact that Savannah showed up to this fight. She was sitting in ringside. She went to ringside at the end of the fight when they were interviewing Claressa, and they talked about the fight, and I'm glad the two of them got in each other's face and began to hype this fight up, because that's what these kind of fights are going to need more of. They're going to need more of the participants to hype up the fight, to get the fight going, if you will. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know where the fight is going to take place. I don't really think it matters, but I think that the fight may be bigger if they fight somewhere overseas. It doesn't necessarily have to be Savannah's hometown, but maybe somewhere overseas where they take women's boxing a lot more serious than they do over here in the States. And let's see that fight. Now, I'm going to give a way too early prediction. I'm going to go with Claressa early. I think that she can outbox Savannah because, to be honest, as good of a fighter as Savannah is, I really believe that all she has is a puncher's chance. I believe that if she cannot hurt Claressa in the early rounds and get her on wobbly legs, I really can't see her outboxing her. Yes, I know that Savannah is a good boxer. So before someone jumps in saying, well, Savannah is a decorated, boxer, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if it comes down to just moving around, boxing, flipping the jab, I think that Claressa has the edge there. When it comes to power, Savannah has the edge. The only way I could really see Savannah, well, I shouldn't say the only way. How I would see Savannah winning this fight would be she's going to have to catch Claressa early. Catch her with something hard, pretty much like, oh my goodness, I can't believe her name just slipped my mind, but Hannah Gabriel's. Pretty much like Hannah Gabriel's did. Only difference is that Hannah Gabriel's is more of an inside fighter when she caught Claressa with that short shot that put her down, where Savannah is a taller fighter who uses her reach, and her right hand, her power right hand is really more of a straight right hand. So I don't know if that's going to necessarily work with Claressa, but hey, Savannah could mix it up. She could come in with a different game plan and go that route. But I'm basically saying is that I think the way she's going to beat Claressa is going to have to be by knockout. I don't think she's going to beat her by a decision. Anyway, fight fans, what did you think about this fight? Claressa Shields and Ema Kozin. Did you enjoy it? Is it what you expected? Did you all expect Claressa to pretty much win by a shutout like she did? And what do you want to see next? Assuming Savannah wins next month, and I all think that we believe she's going to win, and it really would help the fight if she wins by knockout. Do you want to see Savannah Marshall v. Claressa Shields next? Give me your thoughts on that. Otherwise, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, so every time it rings, we can talk boxing. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of what Claressa and Savannah was talking about at the end of this fight with Kozin. Other than that, that's all I got. Holla at y'all later.
You have had some verbal battles on social media. First off, what did you make of Claressa's performance tonight?
I think if you perform like that against me, I'll absolutely wipe the floor with you.
Do you want me to repeat it? She said if you perform like that against her, she's going to wipe the floor with you.
Oh, beautiful. Guess what? You couldn't wipe my drawers. You hear me? You can't do with me. You know what? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See? I ain't no punk. I'm not scared of you. That's why I'm here. You didn't come to America. I came here. I came here. I came here. I came here. You didn't come to me. I'm chasing you. We can go. Let's go. Win March 12th. I'm gonna wipe the floor with you. You can't do me. You can't.
Absolute child.
You have no money.
You went 10 rounds with an absolute child. People were walking out after round 5. Pillow fist.
You fight for 3 days notice for a week. Who have you fought who got ready for 6 weeks? Nobody.
I'll stop you.
Please,
stop
do
you.
it. I can't wait.
That's embarrassing.
5K gonna give you so much hell. 5K gonna give you hell, bum.
Get your necklace on. Go and get your bit of tan necklace on. That'll turn your neck
Where
green.
you gold medals at?
What?
Where you gold
Where's
medals
yours?
at? Where you gold medals at?
Where's yours?
0. You don't have none.
Okay.
You don't have none.
I'm not sure there's much more left to say there that hasn't already been said. Apologies if there was any industrial language that offended anybody. Emotions are running high at ringside. Let's get back over to Anna.